Hi, this is Kosa. Welcome to my channel. So this video is going to talk about anxiety. So anxiety was crippling me. I was really crippled by anxiety when I was in high school and when I was in university as well. In the first couple of years, I was really anxious, very worried and trying to control things, trying to be perfect. And so this video is to help you if you resonate with that. And this is going to help you to remove anxiety and to reduce the frequency of anxiety, right? Reduce the intensity of anxiety so that you have less episodes of being anxious. So I hope that you're going to enjoy this video. I really hope that this video will help you and will help others because these tactics that I did in this video, they helped me overcome anxiety and be someone who is able to be more present, be more available for others and for myself, and also to be more thankful and grateful for this wonderful life that we live in. So let's get started. The first thing to know about anxiety is that it usually is accompanied by a feeling of a threat, that there is some type of danger that's going to happen if you don't do something, right? There's this fear of something being gone or something being taken away or something bad happening. And it makes it so you're acting against a threat. And usually that threat is not real. There are certain situations that anxiety is useful when there are real threats, when you do need to survive, when you do need to get out of danger. But most often, anxiety is in the mind. It's caused by mental stressors that we create that aren't real, right? There's no real threat, but we think there is. And so here are the strategies that I used, the things that I did to remove anxiety from my life. And I'm not saying that I don't get anxious, but I'm saying that now I am I'm anxious when it's necessary more often. And I'm not anxious when it's not necessary less often. So you'll see me now, I'm able to be more aware of when I'm having an anxious thought or when I'm being anxious or acting out of anxiety, and I'm able to regulate that better and be less triggered by false threats, by threats that are not real. Okay, so the first strategy that I use to not be anxious like I used to be is I don't follow the news. I don't listen to the news. I don't keep up with news articles. I don't check what's happening in the world. I usually I don't even listen to the news. Unless someone tells me what's happening, I don't subscribe to the news. I don't look into the news. I don't look into what tragedies or atrocities are happening in the world. And my reasoning for this is that 99% of the time, it is not relevant to me and it only makes me feel worse about myself or about life or about other people. So it is not healthy for me to watch the news or listen to the news. And when it's actually very important for me to know something, the universe always brings it to me. I always end up finding out, and I always end up being able to know information that is relevant to me. So I really encourage you, if you're struggling with anxiety, disconnect from the news, disconnect from negative news, negative media outlets, disconnect from it. Trust me, this one boosted my mental health so much. And if someone reaches out to you and lets you know, oh, did you see this happening on the news or did you hear about that? It is important for you to also have a boundary. And if they share negative things, you may have a reaction, but you can also just kind of casually be like, okay, and then change the subject. We don't need to ruminate in negative things. We don't need to ruminate in negative news, okay? So that's one thing is no news. The second thing is to spend time outdoors. No matter if it's 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, that you just go outside, get some sunlight, get some fresh air. This is so key for you to really understand that this life is so precious and there's an energy that you can get from outside that can really help you boost your mood. So I recommend spend time outdoors, even if it's just a quick walk around the block or if you go to your balcony and look at the sun and really take in the fresh air. Spending time outdoors really helped me because it kept me out of being just like in one place, and it helps me see different environments, see different places, different people. And this really helps the mind to keep things in perspective and helps the mind to get a lot of positivity from nature. So I recommend that too. Another one is reading books. This one really helps you to balance your nervous system, which is often right in fight or flight, especially if you have anxiety. But if you're reading a book like a novel, I love romance novels. I love to learn, especially like, you know, different self-help books and things like that. But my go-to genre is romance. I love reading romance books. I love reading encouraging books too, right? And so learning through reading and reading stories, going into people's stories, into stories that authors are writing, this can help you take your mind off of any threat and to really keep things in perspective. So I recommend getting a book or looking in your bookshelf and reading a book, even if it's a few minutes a day or a few minutes, in the morning, a few minutes at night. This really helped me to be more calm and more aware of the beauty of the creative mind. Somebody created this book, somebody wrote this book, and I love getting lost in the stories. It really helps me to calm down. Another thing I recommend is journaling. And I don't like to be too dramatic with journaling because anxious people, when we have a task, right? We tend to want to do it really well and be perfectionists and plan it out and have it all perfect. So for me, I notice that when I avoid making things too complicated and too extreme and too systematic, right, I'm able to achieve it more and enjoy it more. So journaling for me is whenever I feel like it, if I can every day, write something down, write how I'm feeling, write how the day went, write any feelings or emotions that I still feel from today, right? Any good things that happened, any things that were challenging, and just write and let it out. And this helps you to put things on paper so that you are able to get it out and not keep things bottled in. So I recommend journaling. You can do a guided journal, you can just do blank pages. I have both, and sometimes I use the guided, sometimes I use the blank. It really just depends on how I feel. I really recommend journaling. The next thing is to have a gratitude mindset, a mindset of being grateful. And you probably heard this, but I'm telling you, this is a game changer. You need to be grateful for even the smallest things in your life. Don't take anything for granted. Be grateful for everything in your life, for everything you've been through. You can write it out as a list. You can put it on your phone, like in the notes. I keep like a running list on my phone. I do have a journal where I also write what I'm grateful for. And mentally, too, mentally think about what you're grateful for. Every hour, think of something, say something. Thank you so much, God. Thank you so much, universe, for providing me with this. Thank you so much, universe, that I get to see the sunset. And it's pink and blue and all these different colors. Let me show you. It's so pretty. I don't even know if you can really appreciate it, but it's so beautiful. And just appreciating, like I said, nature, it helps you to really put things in perspective and be like, you know what, I'm so grateful I get to see the sunset today. Not everyone got to see the sunset today. Some people, it was their time to go today, but you get to see the sunset. You get to appreciate colors, right? I'm so thankful that I get to see colors and see different colors. Like this is something that we take for granted. And so when you're grateful, you don't take things for granted. It happens less and less, and this is a key for managing your anxiety. The next thing is I eat more whole foods and more plant-based foods. So I'm eating more things that are from the ground, that are whole foods, that are not processed, and that are actually whole, that are from the ground, fruits and vegetables, and foods that aren't processed, super processed. And I'm not saying I never eat processed food or anything like that, but I'm saying that I have reduced it so much that now I'm eating it less and less. And I don't eat animal products. That was a big change for me personally. I know it may not be for everyone, and so I don't harp on it and really like preach on it. However, speaking from my own personal experience, it was a game changer when I changed my diet, when I ate more whole foods and plant based and reduced animal products significantly. That really helped my brain to be clear and for me to be aware that I even have anxiety, for me to be aware that I have a problem that needs to be fixed. So that was a key, a game changer. And another tip that I recommend is laughing more, finding more things to laugh about in life, no matter how simple. It could be your kids doing something silly. I know my daughter, she keeps me laughing all the time. I just look at her and what she does and I crack up. Like I crack up so much. Or my husband will do something or say something and I crack up and it's so therapeutic to laugh. It really sends out such good hormones in your body and it makes you feel so happy and so excited for life. So I recommend find things to laugh about, no matter how small. The next thing is learning. Learning really helped me with anxiety. And I learned so much from a lot of people on YouTube, from reading books, from other people's experiences. And learning really helps you to put things in perspective. It helps you to see like this experience in life is not just monotone. It's not just me experiencing life. Other people are experiencing life too. And their experience can help you put things in perspective. One thing that really, really impacted me was learning more about the solar system, the universe, galaxies, and seeing how people who study the universe, astronomers and physicists and everything, right? Like how they study all these things about the universe, and it puts this perspective that we are not here alone. Like we're not just Earth. There are stars, there are planets, right? So I went to the planetarium, my local planetarium here, and saw the planets and learned from the instructor about different planets. And so I have this app where I can stargaze using my phone. And so I see in the night which planets are where, which constellations are where. And it gives me this perspective of like, wow, this this world is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And we're not the only ones. We're not the only ones here. Like as far as, you know, existence and as far as planets, as far as universes. It's not just this earth, right? We have different planets, we have different things. And like things when I learned, like for example, Neptune, how huge it is, right? And how long it takes to orbit the sun and how far it is and how cold it is. Like that puts things in perspective for me. Like this life is so beautiful, puts in perspective, this is not the only existence, right? This is not the only reality, right? Imagine if I lived on Neptune, for example, or if I got to travel to Jupiter, or if got to travel to Mars, what would that be like? And so putting my mind in these imaginary situations and really maybe visualizing or meditating, that really helps me to say like, wow, there's very little to be too anxious about when you have all this beauty, all this grandness all around you. So another tip I have is meditation. And like I said earlier, I don't like to make things too complicated for myself, right? Because I overdo it, right? As an anxious person, I'm gonna overdo it, overplan, be very meticulous about it. And if I don't do it every day or every morning and night, I'm gonna feel bad. So I don't make it too complicated. Meditation is you focusing on one thing. Breathing can be one of them. I focus on my breathing, or you can just focus, for example, on a spot on the wall while you sit still or stand still, whatever you prefer, and you are just focusing on one thing. And you're going to have thoughts coming into your mind, and you just accept those thoughts. Say, hey, thoughts, what's up? And you keep focusing on that one thing that you're focusing on. And this gives you this perspective of being able to quiet your mind. And quieting my mind has helped me so much with anxiety. Um, it helps me be more aware about when I'm becoming more anxious. It helps me be more aware of how I'm managing anxiety in the moment. And taking a deep breath in the moment is one of the best tools that meditation has taught me, is telling me, hey, like if something is stressful, take a nice deep breath and then go back to the problem, right? And take time to react. You don't have to react so quickly, right? And so meditation really has been such a key for me and in this journey. So I hope that these tips can be helpful for you. I really changed so much when I was able to be more aware of my anxiety and to manage my anxiety with techniques like this. And so I would love to hear from you. What are you doing to manage anxiety? What are some things that you love to do? What are some things that help you? And I would also love to hear what about this video resonated with you. And I thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you subscribe. Hope that you like this video so that more people are able to see it and more people are able to get some assistance with their anxiety.